I think. Can anyone confirm? I am watching from
Someone
the
confirm.
computer.
Oh wait. Oh wait. Oh wait.
There's
I
two
think it
people
is. I
here.
think it is now. Oh my God. Look at
Hello, into the
us.
void. Are we here? Void, can
Can
you
you
hear me?
hear
Oh yeah, we're
us?
here. We're totally here.
Oh my God.
We're all the way here.
It finally worked. It was just like, we just want to mess
Epic.
with you for a minute.
Oh, 100%. That was weird though. It's glitching. Not the glitches. My goodness.
We love a glitch.
I'm getting everything pulled up,
Okay.
getting the notes, got the chat to mod in case anybody decides to be mean
Mm,
to us.
yeah, there's like 3 people in
Um,
here, it says. I'm
Hi,
dead.
son.
Hey. I
What's
think I
up?
made Blade of Sun a mod on here,
Just getting
potentially.
started. Oh, stellar. Blade of Sun will keep the spam away, that's for sure. He was
Hell
our
yeah.
hero last time.
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
I'm just adding you
luckily.
as a mod.
Okay, stellar. Stellar. Perfect.
Boom.
Gonna get it over here. Cool.
Okay.
So far, so good.
Noelle, can you comment so I can
I
make you a
mean,
mod? Because that's the only way I know how
oh,
to.
yes.
Is there
Yes.
any way?
Hello.
When the
Hello.
blind
I say
girl is
hello to
is
myself.
tri
No, you're right though.
when
I
the
don't. I That's the only way I know how to. I didn't even think about that.
That's so funny. I'm like trying to figure it out. I was like, no, this ain't. Okay, we got
This
mods.
ain't
Okay.
happening.
And now you're
Yay!
going back into my little phone holder. Hey, everybody.
Beautiful.
Blinds girl here.
Hey.
Um, you got to see my beautiful face up close and personal. I'm Alyssa. This is Noelle. And we are gonna kind of debrief on our I was gonna say Q&A, but we're gonna do a Q&A today about the video that we did on Noelle's channel a few weeks ago, talking about religious
Yeah.
trauma. What a wonderful topic.
Woo. Yeah.
Noelle, do you want
A toughie.
to, yeah, you want to introduce yourself, kind of what you do on your channel?
Yeah. Yeah. So I am not Ripto's father, otherwise known as Noelle. My human name is Noelle, so you can call me that. I do a lot of gaming content mostly, but I do mix mental health into that gaming content, which is where this kind of stuff comes in. So I do talk about religious trauma on my Twisting North Talking Mental Health series. Me and Alyssa had a really good episode of that a few weeks ago. If you haven't seen it, check it out. You don't have to see it to participate in this, but um, you know, it'd be cool if you watch it now, and then you'll kind of know some of the stuff we're referencing. But um, yeah, that's mostly what I do. That's the main thing. A little bit of music here and there, and some other fun stuff, but mostly gaming and mental health. So thank you for doing this with me, Alyssa. I'm excited.
Yeah, I always love collabing with you. It really gets me out there, especially right now, because again, we kind of discussed beforehand, like I've not done a lot on YouTube recently, and Noelle is killing it on
Yeah.
YouTube recently. So,
Thank you.
anytime
Thank you. Thank you.
yeah, I'm always learning whenever I do collabs with you. So I think that's fun. I always love to kind of get my
Yeah,
shit together on this app.
for sure. And we can talk to a brick wall, like as long as we're like in the same room, like there's never going to be a conversation die off. So I think we're
Truly.
yeah,
That's what we were like. We
it's a
could talk
good
about
match.
grass for like 3 hours.
Oh yeah. Honestly, I wouldn't be opposed to doing a stream themed on grass. Maybe we could just like look up all the different types of grass,
Hell
what's
yeah.
native to what state and what area, and I mean, I'm sure there's people out there that would love that.
Honestly, Alyssa and Noelle Take on the Woods would be a wonderful video for us to
Oh,
do.
I would so be down. I have a GoPro now. I have a
Oh,
GoPro
heck
now. We can
yeah.
get first person footage. Like, yeah, let's
Heck
get it done.
yeah.
For real.
I
Oh, I love it.
don't know if you want to
I
wait for
see
other
we've got
people to like come in, see if we get some more people in here.
Yeah, we can do that. We can we got somebody asking where we're from, saying they're from Pakistan. We are from Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Kentucky. Country folks, you can probably hear a little bit of it. Um but yeah, we can just chill for a second and then maybe give it 2 more minutes. Yeah, 5:30 was
Yeah,
when we were thinking about starting. So I'm
yeah.
actually wearing a speaking of religious trauma, I'm wearing a Christian metal band shirt right now that I'm going to see tonight
Hey,
because I still
nice.
I still love them. I grew up with them and they're coming to a local area and I was like, you know what? That's cool. But they're like cool ones. They're cool people. So
Yeah,
yeah.
they're the cool
Uh
Christians, you know.
yeah, yeah. They're like not hateful and so and they scream a lot. I love that.
Nice,
Metal
nice.
screaming is different than Hellfire Brimstone screaming. So yeah. Um,
Truly.
but yeah, okay, we can kick her off. I think we're close enough. I think we're close enough.
Heck yeah.
Um,
Yeah, no, Noelle will be the
so we didn't
eyes for
have.
this.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, go
I was
ahead.
gonna
Sorry.
say
There's a
Noelle
little
will
bit
be
of
the.
delay between us. You're good.
Dang it. Okay. Noelle will be the eyes for our chat because Alyssa is legally blind. So anytime somebody comments, Noelle, you are more than welcome to interrupt me. Also, that sucks that there's a delay. So I'm
Okay.
like, how do we fix that?
Yeah, ever so slightly. I assume it's a latency thing, but as long as I think as long as we're like as long as we're hopping off, like switching off of each other, it should be mostly okay. Maybe.
Okay.
Just sorry if I accidentally interrupt you at any point.
Same, same. If we interrupt each other, it's not because we're assholes, it's because we can't. We're on a delay.
Yes, it's because we can't figure out the timing. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We got a really nice comment about our hair, by the way. Somebody said that they like our hair very pretty, and that was nice. So thank you for that. That was sweet. Okay.
Thank you. Nice
Um,
comment.
so yeah. Yeah, we love nice comments. Sometimes we get not so nice ones, so please keep the love coming. So we didn't have a whole lot of questions pre this stream. I will say there might be some people from my community come over during it and ask some stuff. But we didn't get a lot before, but we did have a couple. So I guess we can start with the questions that we got before the stream, and kind of
Yeah.
discuss that stuff. So we did get the question, do you think all churches are bad? And I don't have who put every question down, but I do know this one was from Blade of Sun. So Blade of Sun, thank you for that. Um,
Thank you.
do you want to go first, Alyssa, with answering that? And I can just hop off. I
Yeah.
can follow up because I've got thoughts too.
Yeah, for sure. So I definitely do not think all churches are bad. Um, I have been to a few like really cool churches, and again, it's like depends on too just where you are in your life and how the churches treat you. So again, it's like a lot of
Yeah.
us have had different experiences. I know a lot of my friends who didn't grow up disabled and they're not gay and they are kind of fit into this social norm of what you should be or what people assume you should be. And so they obviously had a better experience. So I think that's lovely. I'm happy for them. Like it's not
Yeah.
like I'm just like, oh, how dare you guys have a wonderful
Yeah.
experience, you know? I'm just like, oh, that's great for you.
Yeah.
I did not, you know. So I think
Yeah.
a lot of churches have good intentions as well, and sometimes it just gets
Yeah.
kind of lost in translation. So you can usually tell when
Yeah.
like churches have good intentions or members of churches. There's always bad
Yeah.
seeds in every batch. So
Oh
it's
yeah.
like even the good
Yeah.
churches, sometimes you have to really watch, you know.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
always some people everywhere that ruin things. So we love a
Yeah.
nice, respectful, kind church, and I've very much
Yeah.
witnessed a few of those. So yeah, I
Yeah.
truly believe there are really great churches out there.
For sure. I love that. I love that answer, and I completely agree. I want to second that. Definitely believe there are good churches out there, and I do think there was something that you touched on that is applicable to all communities, not just churches, right? There's always going to be an icky, ill-intentioned person or more than one person in every group that you try to be a part of. There's a community for
Yeah.
everything out there, right? Like, and I remember coming out of church and thinking like, oh, these other communities are going to be so welcoming because they're not judgmental or they're not religious. No, that's not true either. That's
Yeah.
not true either.
Yeah.
Just you gotta be really picky about communities that you trust. And yeah, but no, I do believe that there's a lot of good out there. I also even believe that like even though I've experienced religious trauma from like other people's belief systems and belief systems that were kind of like imposed upon me by culture in the area, I don't even think that like the churches I went to were all bad necessarily. I
Yeah.
think that like it's just um it's really hard it's very not black and white, it's very gray. There's a lot to it. And so that was my hardest thing about like even speaking out about this is like I don't want to like crap talk identity and be like if you know go to this place you're screwed. I don't want to like talk about like the belief systems and how they
Hmm.
can be kind of misconstrued or even problematic or hard on certain people. There's certain people that aren't heavily affected by it and get trauma
Yeah.
from the same exact beliefs that gave me issues. So
Yeah.
but yeah, long way of saying I do not believe all churches are bad, and I do think you as an individual person with your belief systems and your morals have to determine what a good church, air quotes, looks like for you because it will be different for everybody.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, yeah, I think that's
And
a
like you
it's
said,
a really
there's
good
like
question.
always a gray area because it's
Yeah,
just in everything, there's a gray area, unfortunately. And that's why it's really hard for people nowadays
yeah,
to get behind. I'm sure it's always been like that, but I feel like now people are more opinionated than ever, and everyone's like, no, my way
yeah,
is the right way. So it's very,
yes,
very much noted, like at a
yeah,
face value now. I feel like used to people maybe like kind of kept their opinions to themselves more. And so now it's easier to see like, oh, like they think this way. Okay, well I'm gonna stay away from that. Or like they
yeah,
think this way. I really fuck with that. I'm gonna go hang out with them. So um yeah,
yeah,
just the gray area is so hard to get past now because
yeah.
a lot of people make it known that they don't believe there's a gray area.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And that's one of the things too that like is tough because even let's say we don't right now, obviously, but let's say we identified as Christians still, we would be fighting the same issue because there's so much division within that religion. Because look at all the
Yeah,
different denominations, and then even if you pick a denomination, there's division between that denomination not agreeing with what's going on, um,
yeah.
which is like it's a lot and it gets really overwhelming, especially when you grow up like wanting to have an answer and like wanting to develop like a full opinion of something and it feels like you can't
Hmm.
because there's so many different takes because theology is interpreted at the end of the day,
Yeah.
like it's everybody's giving it their best shot, and
Hmm.
or maybe some people aren't so much, they're seeing what they want to see, but either way it
Yeah,
is very left up for interpretation, just like literature, right? Like not everybody gets the
yeah,
same thing out of a poem, not everybody gets the same thing out of a story all the time. Like you might get the main points,
exactly.
sure, like, but yeah, so yeah, it's tough, but yeah, absolutely. Like one thing I really want to and I don't do a lot of this work. I only do it a little bit because obviously mostly my channel is more lighthearted, more gaming, more, fun. But one of the biggest things I want to like contribute to in the conversation with religious trauma is like making it okay to speak out about the negative things about religion without people assuming that you are attacking religion as a whole. And so that's why I like
Yeah,
this question because Like, a lot
Hmm.
of times people would see this and think these are just a bunch of God-hating atheists that hate all religious people and blah blah blah. And it's like, no, that's the thing, is that
Yeah,
we love a lot of people that still believe, and we did believe, and we still believe in our own version of something else. Maybe like we're working on
yeah,
our, whatever, like we have our
yeah.
own spiritual experiences outside of this religion too. Like, we're not just cold-hearted. Like, I'm not saying that it's cold-hearted to believe that way, just like the stereotype, of like, oh, they must hate
Yeah.
everybody, and it's like, no, that's not what we're trying to
Well,
do.
that's like
Um,
me
and
speaking
like,
out more
yeah,
now. I feel like I used to not as much. Like I have over the years, which is we kind of touched on that during our,
yeah,
video. How like we're like,
yeah,
no, we're like 30 now and we've thought this way for a while. So like what makes you think
yeah,
like it's brand new? But like I feel like the
yeah,
more videos I post, like everybody's like, have you heard what Alyssa said? I'm just like, y'all need to chill. Like, I'm just like,
that's
okay, yes, this is my
yeah,
experience. And it's like that it's just my experience, guys. I'm
yeah,
not putting this
yeah,
out there to be like, hate God or, like it's
yeah,
wild.
yeah,
Because yeah, like me and you, I feel like are pretty reasonable people. And we don't
yes,
hate Christians. We don't hate the religion. Like it's just like this is my
no,
experience and I would like to make it
yeah,
better for other people if they want to go down that path. But also it's safe to not go down
yes,
that path. Like yeah, there's
yeah,
options.
and yeah, absolutely. Like, and calling out those things to watch for, because okay, think about it like this. This is the way I think about it, because you think about people who speak out about domestic issues in their relationships. Okay, we'll say it like that. I don't know what I'm allowed to say on here. Um, they are not saying all relationships are bad, are they? No, they're saying here are some red flags to watch out for in your relationship in order to have a healthy one and stay safe. It's the same exact thing we're
Yeah,
doing when we talk about our religious trauma. Is like, not religion is not all bad. Churches are not all bad, but here are some things that really
yeah,
messed with us and caused us issues that can be red flags for you to watch out for if you are in that situation, because you do, when you get into a hierarchy and things are run by multiple layers of people. And now, we were in a situation where we were in backwoods country churches that didn't even have board. I mean, my church didn't have a board. It was very simple. People were not, I don't know how yours was. There may have been people in the church that agreed on things, but like nowadays,
yeah,
there are like denominations that have like a senior board that's massive all over the world for
yeah,
every denomination, and they have that all cycles down. So either way, whether it's a minor hierarchy or a larger one, you are, you know, I want to say you're underneath, but like you do have to be careful when there's power involved. When power is involved, you have to watch out for any potential like toxic belief systems that can come trickling down.
yeah.
And when you're a sensitive person and a person who wants to just please people, if you're a people pleaser and you want to do good, it can be so
Hmm.
easy to just listen to those people blindly and like follow what they're saying without, questioning it, because you're like, well, I just want to
Yeah,
be good and they're saying this is good and I don't have the confidence to look into this myself and they're smarter than
yeah,
me, so they must be right. Like, very easy to fall into that. I mean, at the
yeah,
end of the day, the biggest thing is like we all have access to the same books, the same teachings, the same texts, and we can all come to our own conclusions on our own without needing a mediator, a human to mediate, right? Like,
yeah.
yeah. So
Well, and
that was
you
a
make
big
a good
tangent,
point. Like
but
mega churches, that's a whole video itself is how accessible
yeah. Oh yeah.
mega churches are now and like how that's
Yeah.
becoming the standard. It's not just little papa down the
Yeah.
street being a pastor with five deacons in the church. Now it's becoming just
Yeah.
such a big hierarchy thing and it's kind of
Yeah.
like you
A
said, the people
business.
pleasing. It's
It
like, oh, I
really
want to,
it
yeah, I
is a
want to be
business.
recognized by the
Yeah.
head pastor who's in Texas right
Yeah.
now. Like, yeah, it is
Yeah.
crazy how
Yeah.
some of these big churches are just like
Yeah.
expanding like that.
Yes, and certain denominations, this gets really complicated because I do find it interesting how things cross over, because I think from like it gets complicated because I don't know how your church believed, but I would, and I don't even know how mine believed about, you know, spiritual encounters and, premonitions and that sort of thing. But there are a lot of religions, like branches of Christianity, that believe in that to the extent, though, that these higher people are like faking it, though, because like I've heard a lot of other people on other podcasts. I know I always reference Hildish, but I've listened to Hildish a lot, and like she's told stories, about like these like really popular like dudes being like, oh, you're supposed to marry this person, and like they'll look up like they proved that they were just looking up
Yeah.
people's Facebook information and being like, God told me that you need to be with him, and that's how people get into bad relationships, because somebody at a church told
Uh-huh.
them that God destined them to be together.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my,
That's
I
when it
accidentally
becomes
added a
very
Q&A sticker.
odd. What is it?
I was trying to click I was trying to click off of a message and I accidentally added a Q&A sticker. I don't know how to get rid of it. You know what?
You're doing great. You're doing
Maybe
great,
it can just
sweetie.
live there. Or maybe back. Oh, I got it. I got it. It's
She
gone.
did
Okay, I fixed it.
it.
I'm sorry. It popped up and was like, try this, and I was like trying to get rid of the notification and I accidentally tried it. But
Legit, for those of you who didn't watch our last
anyway,
live
yeah.
together, me and Noelle like were talking over things before we went live, and I accidentally like clicked a button, and I was like, "Oh, we're live." We're doing great with technical support over here.
And and we rolled with it and we did great, didn't we? We were on fire. That
Yes,
was our I don't remember if that was our other religious trauma stream or our
probably.
ghost stories stream, but it was a good time either one.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, I
it
think
was
it was
good.
the ghost stories.
Yeah. We have to do that again this year. So speaking of that, yeah, like I feel like that's something that gets really complicated too, because
Hmm.
I do believe in spiritual, like I dream about things before they happen. They could be the smallest things, they could be something incredibly important that I feel like the universe
Hmm.
was trying to prepare me for. It can literally be something as stupid as like, I'm going to find a jar of peanut butter in somebody's floor tomorrow. Like, it's stupid stuff sometimes that is completely useless, but I do believe in that spiritual stuff, and I think
Yeah.
you do have to watch with, and I don't even, we do a lot of critiquing toxicity in Christianity, but I also believe you got to watch for it in new age stuff as well. There are scammers out there,
Yes.
there are fakes out there. There are people who will use your sensitivity to the spiritual world to exploit, and make money and just control you at the end of the day,
Yeah.
and they're faking it and it's not genuine. So you do have to be, I guess my biggest thing that I've learned from from all of this is like, you don't have to be part of like a higher group. You can think for yourself and you don't have to follow somebody else. And that's a
Yeah.
hard thing to get out of when you leave religion. And I think of people that leave cults feel very similarly. And we can have a whole debate about like, can religion be a cult? I think it can be. I
Uh,
don't think it is inherently. I think it
yeah.
can be. Hot
Yeah.
take maybe, but like I do think it can be for sure. Um,
Oh, yeah.
we got a good comment too from a user, Unit isn't there, that said that's really real when it comes to religion, as long as you're happy and you're not bothering other people about theirs or forcing it on other people. So yeah, I
Hmm.
think that was in response to one of our earlier comments, but that was a
Yeah.
good um
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
I've always felt the
good
same
comment.
way. I'm
But
just like if it makes you
yeah,
happy, believe in it. Like you ain't gotta
yeah,
prove to me like why it's the right way. It's like, okay, like that works for you. That's
yeah,
awesome. Uh,
yeah, yeah,
I gotta roll with
for
other
sure.
other things, and
And
that's okay.
yeah, and I remember being so scared about the fact that like I couldn't find evidence or proof when I was younger. Now later I did. Now that I don't care about finding biblical proof, I find it. But back then, I was so scared about the fact that I could not confirm that like I wasn't going to go to hell for being gay. You know what I mean? And like
Yeah.
that pressure of just like you have to like justify everything about yourself that they think is wrong or certain
Yeah.
groups of people think is wrong is really, really tough, especially when you try to change it and it just makes you sicker. It makes you like more
Yeah.
bad off because you're trying to force something that isn't you. You're not being authentic to
Yeah.
yourself. Yeah, I mean that's tough, and it's very freeing. It's a hard habit to break, but it's very freeing to
Yeah.
not have to feel like, I've got to find this fit into this mold, I guess, like the cookie
Yeah.
cutter, you know,
Yeah.
um, mold. Yeah. Um, okay, that was a really good conversation on one question. I know we
Yeah.
tangented a little bit, but we do have one other question from the audience that we got before, which is cool. And if anybody wants to ask things now, that would be great. I could do a Q&A sticker, but I'm afraid it would cover us up because I accidentally almost did, and it looked kind of big.
Ah.
So feel free to ask any questions. I should probably wait till there are more people here to say that, but I can say it again later.
Yeah.
So another question that we got is what are the benefits of going to church or the positives that church may include? And I think that's a good question. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Do you want to kick off on it? You want me to? I'm good either way. I've
I
talked a lot, so you feel
yeah.
free to.
I'll take my take.
All
I
right, sweet.
I love I love this question because I think there's so many benefits. Like I from a social aspect, because a lot of people go for
Yeah,
social aspects, so, like just to see their cousin that they don't get to see unless they go to church. It gave me like my best friend
true.
of 30 years, like we met when we were bebés
Yeah,
because we grew up in the same church. And then
yeah,
also, I think it helps you kind of figure out conflict with other people, realize
yeah,
how the world works and how people don't agree, and sometimes sometimes it teaches you how you don't want to act in the world, and sometimes it teaches you how
true.
you want to present yourself in the world. Because I remember there was,
Yeah,
like certain older women in the church that I would always be like, they are so graceful and like poised, and they're always kind, like there are those people that you're just like, dang, I hope to be more like
yeah.
them, and just treat
Oh yeah,
people with kindness and never be that person that's like judgy, or all of our bad experiences that
yeah,
we've had. There's also a lot of
yeah,
people that I just admired growing up. And to this day, I'm like, damn, I
yeah.
wish I was more poised like that. That's really not who I am, but that's who
It is
I
admirable
aspire
though.
to be
Yeah,
some days. Yeah, it's admirable. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, look at
yeah,
you having grace over there.
yeah. For sure. Absolutely. Yeah, I do think like uh, so the question is, yeah, what are the benefits of going to church? I think you touched on a lot of the ones I'm thinking too, community. I think that's people when they leave, they have a hard time with that because a lot of times if you leave, your community kind of abandons you. Now, it's not always the case. I still
Hmm.
know a lot of people that are really sweet from the church I grew up in that do not treat me any differently. I think they're very sweet people, so it's not always the case, but a lot of times you do lose that community, and a lot I feel like when you're deep into it, that is your community. So it's like you go from having all these people who, like you said you talked about this in our recording, all these people that were there for you during your hospital visits and helped with things and whatever, like it's like that's a community that
Yeah,
you only get sometimes from church. And it's
yeah,
it's almost like an extended family in a way that you have, and then when you
yeah.
leave it, sometimes that's not, so anyway,
Hmm.
um I think a positive for people that are in a healthy situation with church would be just the sometimes people get a spiritual connection from there. Now, I never did. I always felt the spiritual connection like in nature and like from just kind of like meditating and reading and like just
Yeah,
being alone is when I felt
same.
spiritual. But some people do get that connection, so I think that that can be a positive thing for people that have a healthy experience. And then, um, yeah, what else? I had another benefit that I was thinking of, that wasn't necessarily super negative. but I can't remember. I guess community is the biggest thing, but
Yeah.
I go off on a tangent about that and don't remember what I was initially going to say. It was pretty
Well,
much I think I had something about like uh yeah, no, I lost it. Help me.
well, I know, like, yeah, community and then like being social and just I think you can find your if I feel like if you're an extrovert, I don't know about you. I feel like we're
Yeah.
both kind of introverted. I love, I love my
Yeah.
friends. I love the people that I love. But yeah, like I feel like I'm an
Yeah.
introvert at heart that just needs my alone time to like process things, especially like,
Yeah.
all the health stuff. It's like
Yes.
I just couldn't find somebody to relate. And so it's like I just needed to go inward and really be like, okay, and
Yeah.
I do this to this day. I'm like, I have to be alone. I have to just recuperate.
Yeah.
But some people find that comfort in others and
Yeah.
certain individuals from
Yeah.
the church or like the pastor just giving them comforting words, songs that you sing. And again, it's about community, but
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
also that's their safe space. You can find your safe space in the
Right.
church and really feel
For
comforted by
sure.
that. I don't
Yeah.
know if I ever felt that, but I do know
Yeah.
other people did. Um,
Yeah.
and I guess I did in a certain sense that like, that's where one of my best friends was, so it's like I did have
Yeah.
something to look forward um to see
Yeah.
her, in Sunday school and me and her like goof off and but
Yeah.
still it gave us that, like comfort that like, oh my gosh, I have that person that I get to see or
Yeah.
I get to hear this song today. Somebody can sing this song and I find joy from it.
For sure, yeah, and the music is definitely a piece of it that if I think about
Yeah.
anything that made me feel spiritual, it would be the music, and it's not even the old-fashioned older church I went to with the hymnals, it was the more modern one that had, like, praise and worship music and more modernized music that I remember I was going through a bad time at that time, and it was comforting to me at the time, like, that piece of it. It
Yeah.
was always, the lessons that kind of messed with me because it was when it would get into like specifics of like this type of person you can't condone this lifestyle whatever I'm like okay like this is
Yeah.
less comforting now because then I would just have this
Uh,
inner battle myself and start to obsess over
well,
it.
now
I
you're just
remember the
being
positive I
hateful.
was yeah exactly I remember the positive, and it's not true for all churches. I can't personally say I went to any that were big into this, but there are a lot that do a lot, and a lot that I know even in our community that shall not be named that like actually do a lot to help people is the charity aspect. I
Yeah.
think the people that really follow what Jesus said about helping people that need it and being there for a wider community, even outside of the people you care about and outside of your church, like helping people anywhere. There are a lot of
Yeah.
churches that do that, and I think that's a beautiful thing. I mean, you see so many churches have drives, food drives, clothing drives, ones that actually provide shelter, unlike a lot of mega churches who've denied it, to people, and that's been controversial in the past.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of um, that out there. So that was another benefit that I would say. Um,
Yeah.
Thank you guys for the comments. By the way, we're getting some good comments. Appreciate the support. So far, it's been a little less hateful than the last one we got.
Yay.
um, yeah, yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Um, And hello, hello. Some people are saying hi. Welcome, welcome in.
Hello.
Um, Hi, thank you for being here. Uh, yeah, so anywho, um, sorry, I was reading a comment and laughing. So we have some talking points that we had prepared that we could, talk about. And again, if anybody has any or any questions, drop them here. I know we don't have a Q&A sticker going, but you can do it. I think um maybe just from what we've talked about, we could go into like the Appalachian versus Snooty because I think we just talked about mega churches a little bit and
Yeah.
um stuff like that. So that could be a good thing. I know for me, like when I first thought of this, I was like thinking about how sweet that a lot of the people I went to church with are and were,
Yeah.
and how it's like I hear a lot of religious trauma stories about people in the church thinking they're better than everybody else, and that's what gave people trauma because they felt very judged and stuff. I can't say
Mhm.
that a lot of the people I grew up with at least made me necessarily feel judged. I think a lot of people were just very sweet and supportive overall. And I do think that Appalachian churches, we have a lot of, there's a lot more humility. So maybe it makes
Yeah.
it complicated because the teachings are damaging. But like, e- even though the teachings are damaging, there's a lot of sweet people that mean well. And the reason that they're backing those teachings is because they care about you and they think that they're saving you from
Yeah.
this awful
Yeah.
awful destiny because that's what they believe in is the hellfire
Yeah.
brimstone and stuff like that, so they feel like they're, if anything, they're protecting you.
Yeah.
But then also there's people that don't even like, they don't even judge, they're just there, like they're like,
Yeah.
you do your thing, but like we love you, whatever. So I do
Yeah.
think there's a layer of complexity for folks like us who have experienced these people, because you do feel more guilty when you speak out because you're like, I don't want this person to think they're the problem. I don't want this person to think I'm talking about them because I'm
Yeah.
not, it's just the larger teachings that I'm trying to talk about.
Yeah.
But, I can't say I've had a situation from church where like somebody has just been like, I mean, kids, teenagers, when I was a teenager in church, yeah, definitely some snooty, I'm better than everybody, stuff going on, but not really the adults. I've never felt it, maybe it was done behind my back, but not to my face at least. Um,
I I feel like
and
I've definitely encountered it, but it's funny that you mention it because it's like the snooty ones in Appalachia are like, well, bless their heart, and we've talked about that with like the prayer chain. They're like, oh, pray for Rebecca
yes.
because her husband cheated on her and she just can't keep a man. Like it's always just
Yeah,
like, oh, you gave a little too
yeah,
much. You didn't have to say all that. Like, and
yeah,
that's when it's like, okay, well now you're acting like you're better than her, and you like maybe take a step back, you know. But again, it's like
yeah,
I genuinely think those people don't even realize sometimes, and it's like,
yeah,
how how did we get to this point? So yeah, like sometimes it is funny
yeah,
because even when they are snooty in a Southern Baptist church, they're like presenting as
yeah,
like, no, we just really care.
yeah, yeah, that's true. So it's like insidious almost. Yeah, it's like, oh, it comes from a good place, but also,
Yeah.
sorry, I just
It,
saw a funny comment from one of my people saying they thought I was in a tent, um, because of the background. But that's funny. I love that. Uh, but yeah, no, there is that. It's like low key snootiness, bless your heart snootiness. Like I said, Appalachian Beauty Shop,
yeah.
like gossip
Truly,
type of
yes.
humor, and they don't realize it, and they get that is one thing I will tangent with is they say that um what is it, um I lost it. Pretty much like they'll say, I see comments sometimes and it throws me off. Uh
Stop distracting Noel,
yeah,
guys.
I don't know, I had a really good thought. Yeah, I just like want to make sure I understand something before I choose if I'm going to respond to it or not, and then I'm like, wait.
I'm
Um, yeah, but two people are having a conversation amongst themselves, so that's cool. I'm gonna let them do that, but
gonna
um,
let them. I'm gonna let y'all
I
finish.
do I do like what's being said about fear, though. That's yeah, yeah. I lost it, but it's okay because I feel like we covered that one pretty well.
Okay, I
Yeah,
have
I
a
think my
really good
point was just
one.
gonna be like, oh yes,
Oh
yes,
yeah,
yes, yes.
continue, continue.
Oh, I was just gonna summarize it and say that my point was just going to be that like they get a lot of well, especially like older people, will get so tore up about what other people are doing, Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's what fuels a lot of this because they're like, "Oh, did you hear?" And it's usually like sin related, like what they deem as a sin, whether it's like somebody got
Yeah.
divorced or somebody did this, that, and the other. And so yeah, I just think that's it's kind of it's funny for the most part, unless you're directly affected by it every day, then it's not so funny. But
Yes.
like if
Yeah.
you're separate enough from it and you're an adult and you have autonomy and you're able to just be like, okay, grandma, or okay,
Yeah.
aunt so and so, whatever, like whatever it is to whoever it is. Um,
Yeah.
it can be kind of funny from a distance, but yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
please tell me what you were thinking.
So I have a funny story. My little cousin, she's gonna be 13 this year. She is hilarious. I'm obsessed with her. She FaceTimed me the other day and we were talking. She was going to my grandpa. Um, he got ordained as a deacon in a new church. And so she was
Okay,
like, "What is a
okay.
deacon?" And I was like, "I don't know." I'm like, I guess it's like Jesus had his disciples and the preacher has his deacons. And she was like, what?
Yeah.
And I was like, that's probably not a great way to explain that. But I was like, you know what? Let me rephrase this for you. And I'm
Your
like, it's
papa's a
just the
disciple.
preacher's right hand.
That's so
It's
funny.
like, you know what? And then she's just like, oh my God. Like
Oh
she's
my
just
god.
cracking up at me. And I'm like, that's probably not a wonderful way to say that. I was like,
She's
please
gonna go
don't
to
go up
school
to
and
him and
be
ask him
like,
if he's a
my
disciple.
she's gonna be going to school and be like, guess who's a disciple?
My
I got a family
grandpa's a
member that's a
disciple.
disciple now.
Yeah, I
Oh
was
my
like,
gosh. They're
oh
gonna think
no.
like, what are they teaching this girl?
They'll be like, don't listen to Alyssa. Don't ask her
That's
about
so
Jesus.
funny. Yeah, like she's spreading false information. She's spreading
Yeah,
misinformation.
like I'm like, oh God, I thought I was doing good. Now I'm like,
Well, I think it was a good. You were going in a good direction. You were going in a good direction. Um,
oh,
yeah. I mean, you have to have some kind of example, I guess. I actually don't
oh.
know what the exact. Let's look it up. Actually, I don't know what a deacon exactly is supposed to do because my poppy was one
I
too, and I actually
literally
don't
Googled
know.
it. Googled it after that because I was like, no, no, no,
Oh,
let me tell you. And it's
okay,
like, it's pretty much like, yeah, they're just like the right hand man of the preacher, you know? Like,
okay, okay, okay. So almost like an assistant, it seems, or like a
yeah.
yeah, just there. I know my poppy led the choir too, so like, and I don't think that had anything to do with him being a deacon, because I think that's a separate thing. I think it just so happened that he did both, but
Yeah. But
he
he's
like
like
led the
higher up in
singing
the
and stuff,
church.
which
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, the little country church. Yeah, I know it's like, and there's this kind of goes back to, I mean, I do have a thing here about like it's not all black and white, even though religion taught me very black and white thinking because of the way that my little brain interpreted it,
Yeah.
can't talk, interpreted things. But I think a lot of Appalachians, and maybe other people too, but like just in Appalachia culture, we'll limit it to that because that's our experience. We have like really good positive memories too with like it makes me
Yeah.
emotional to think about my poppy singing in the choir and like seeing him
Yeah.
leading certain songs, and if I hear that I'm like, ooh, like I get emotional. Like he was a great person, a very sweet person, very like
Yeah.
just loving, and I feel like a good overall, a good example of what like it should be to be a Christian. What
Yeah.
not what we see today with politics. Um,
Yeah.
so like I get emotional about that. I get nostalgic for like going to Kentucky Fried Chicken after church on Sunday and NASCAR being on. Like I mean it's not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah. So uh, I don't know. It's it's such a complex thing, and I think that's what makes this like it makes it so hard. I've said this like 50 times, but it's another thing that makes it so hard to talk about because it's so ingrained into our
Yeah.
culture. It's so ingrained into our culture.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it was just that's what you do on Sunday. That's
Yeah.
you know what I mean, unless you're sick or something or you go on vacation
Yeah.
because like You know, and it is funny because there were definitely those people who you'd miss one Sunday and they'd be like, "Where have you been?" Or like, to this day, some people will run into me and be like, "We sure do miss you and your mom," or you know what I mean? And I'm just like, "I know,
You're like,
honey, I know, but it just
it ain't
it's
for
been
me.
like 15 years. Like, yeah, it's just not my vibe, but you're like a very sweet person. I do not think poorly of you. I
Yeah,
just can't
yeah,
do it anymore. It's just not
yeah,
healthy for me. It's not healthy for me. Not that
yeah,
atmosphere. Um, yeah. Uh, so
yeah.
anyway, yeah.
Well, and that's like
Um,
even just setting up boundaries with like certain people. Like, it's funny because we
oh
kind
yeah,
of talked about this too. I, I had to set up a boundary just until I get past like this really hard point in my life. And then I'm like, you know what?
yeah,
And then you can continue to tell me that I'm going to hell, and that will be fine. Just let me get past like this really hard time in my life first. And then I don't give a fuck.
yeah,
Like, it's funny because like just your
yeah,
mental like headspace, like you have to really monitor like where you are. Because I'm like, yeah,
yeah,
there's some days I could walk in the church and I'll just be like, hey, what up? But there's other days that I'm just like, I could not do it. Like, there's no way.
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, and that's a good topic that I don't have written down that would be interesting to talk about is like because there have been opportunities for me, not opportunities, but situations where like I wish I could have like gone, like my little cousin getting baptized when I know that like that part of the family and those people
Hmm.
are actually like really accepting and progressive, so their church can't be that bad, like it's probably fine. But like I didn't feel like which I ended up I was busy that day anyway, but like there was like this in my stomach where I was like, man, I wish I could have gone to that though, and just been there as a
Yeah.
support or like whatever. And then like you know other situations where like I've been invited for like a special event that has to do with church for somebody that I care about, and I'm just like, I
Hmm.
want to be able to, but there's just this block in me that like can't. And I think it's because I know regardless of how many people might be there who would not judge me, would not think badly of me because of who I am or
Hmm.
my belief system, I also know that there are just as many, if not more, that do and would if they knew. And the hardest thing about Appalachia for me is from the outside. I mean, you can't tell right now because I'm wearing a heavy metal shirt, but for the most part, I present pretty like average. I mean, my hair is, pretty crazy color, I guess now, but like I come off the way I'm talking right now is how I come off to everybody. I feel like a lot of people read me as like sweet and whatever, especially like middle-aged people, older
Hmm.
people, and I get along with them really well. I could get along with the churchiest church person, woman, elderly lady, whatever on the planet, and just I
Yeah.
could vibe with her if she didn't know anything about me. I could be right all over that. Like I love talking to these people. I think they're precious a lot of the times.
Yeah.
Um, but it's the fact that I know, oh, if they knew I was married to a woman, or if they knew like that I don't believe exactly the way I did growing up. I've
Hmm.
deconstructed a lot and reconstructed my beliefs. Like if they knew that the way that a lot of them, not all of them, but the way a lot of them would change how they felt,
Yeah.
that's what stops me because I'm like, I don't want to come in here and like people think I'm something that I'm not and be
Yeah.
judged and perceived as something that I'm not. And like if they knew the truth, that they would just
Yeah.
change how they feel about me. So it's really hard for me to
Hmm.
go into those situations because they have in their head what people look like and what people are, right? And I'm not that. Like I'm not. And so they just
Yeah.
automatically assume like, oh, it's not one of them. She's not, and like, but
Yeah.
I am, because like we're just humans, and all these stereotypes that are out there
Yeah.
in the media, yeah, they exist, and there are people that are fit these certain stereotypes, but a lot of us are just, there's a lot of country people, there's a lot of people that are Christians that like are,
Yeah.
they fall into other categories that aren't what you'd expect,
Yeah.
and then
And
but that's, it's different than the norm, so it freaks them out.
yeah, that's a good topic to bring up too, because like I feel like a lot of quote unquote the normal ones who are Christian in our hometown, they like to party a
Yeah,
lot and they keep it on the DL. And I've always thought that was so funny because listen,
yeah,
I've drank quite a bit back in my day. And so like I would go to like parties with these people who are just like, I'm going to church on Sunday. And I'm just like, what is going on? Like, it was always really
Yeah.
funny to me because, they present themselves as like, oh, like I'm just a mom of two and I go to church every Sunday. And then like on the weekends, I'm like, oh, okay, hey, like you're getting really lit at the bowling alley
Yeah.
right now. But
Yes.
if
Yeah.
Sue
Yeah. Oh my
Ann, if
God.
Sue
Yes.
Ann from church on Sunday knew that, my God, she'd be praying for you, girl. But like you
Sue
keep that real
Ann.
secret. I
I'm
was gonna say Sue
cackling
Bobby.
right
I
now,
was trying
dude.
to
You
think of
got
like
me with
just a
that.
random.
Sue It's
But
so
yeah,
true
like
though. It's so true. It's so true.
yeah. So it's like even the people who go to church, I feel like they feel like they can't be themselves, and I'm like, that's so fucking sad. Um,
Yeah, it
so I don't
is.
know.
It
That's just
is.
one thing that I've witnessed
Yeah.
too.
No, that's good. That sent me off to something too, or onto something too. That's something that really has always like it ate at my core, and it doesn't so much now, but I still like morally, and you've even said this that we've been the same for so long. I other than accepting my sexual orientation and cussing because I didn't cuss for a long time and now I do. Other than those two things, nothing has changed about the way I act, the way I treat people, the way I carry myself. I never drank.
Yeah.
I never partied. I was always very like follow the rules, very like
Mm-hmm.
very perfectionist. So it really, really, really bothered me when just one thing, which was like me coming out, like changed how people felt about me when everything else was the same. And in a lot of like I wasn't doing the sins, let's just put them in air quotes, but the sins that these
Yeah.
people were doing, like drinking or whatever. But
Yeah.
like I was like in a way from some of them like ostracized because my sin was worse than theirs,
Mm-hmm.
whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what really got me the most because it's like okay, for example, the person that I cut out of my life, the excommunicated like friend of the family that I talk about
Yeah.
sometimes here. My entire life was just always bragging me up about how responsible that I was, how good of a person that I was. I had my head on my shoulders, and all these things, right? Whatever. But that, like, the perspective of me completely changed just because I ended up not being straight. And it's like, that always got to me. And I think to this day, there's still like the inner child in me is bothered by that because it's like, man, I'm no
Yeah.
different. I am the same person, but you think that this thing
Mm-hmm.
makes me like evil, like it totally,
Yeah.
one thing changed the entire perspective of me after talking about how good of a person that I was my whole life and just bragging me up. And that's aggravating to deal
Yeah.
with. It's very aggravating
And
to deal with because it's like I'm
homophobia
not
is
telling
just
you
such an
you're bad
odd,
because you're drinking or
yeah,
yeah,
it's such an
it
odd
is. It's
like
very
thing. I
it's
mean, it's the same as
yeah,
being racist. It's just like, why do you hate this group of people so much just for
yeah,
existing? It's just so odd to me, and I'm just like, I don't
yeah.
know.
And
Yeah,
again, they stereotype us, and that's why I don't want to do the same back, and that's why I love this conversation and why I've been so adamant about like I'm not going to
yeah,
stereotype every single Christian. I am not going to stereotype every single religious person until they prove to me that they fall into that stereotype, sure. But I do not want to do the same thing to other people that has been done to me, even though it's tempting when you first get out of it because you're so angry and bitter and hurt that you kind of want
yeah,
to get back at them. I mean, I was definitely sassier when I was in my early 20s because I was just so bitter and mad about it. And
hmm,
like, to, rightfully so, I think I needed that. And that's part of my
yeah,
healing and part of my journey. But I don't want
yeah,
to be like them, like those people, like the
yeah,
bad people, the ones that show a bad
yeah.
example of what, you know, religions. And I don't want to like fall, like, I do make some jokes. I do go into pat bomb mode. You saw that. If you guys haven't watched the recording of me and Alyssa, you'll see I'm a little sassier there than I
I
am
love
today. I
Papa
really
Mode.
had to like, yeah, the hormones, I'm at a certain time of the month right now. I'm like, I gotta think about this, before I go on here because I don't want to to be sassy or whatever. And I think sometimes for humor
Yeah.
purposes you need to be, because it lightens the mood. But overall, I really like,
Yeah.
I don't want anybody to think that I would treat them any differently because of their
Yeah.
religion, because I wouldn't want anybody to treat me differently because of my sexual orientation or because of my spiritual beliefs. I don't want to
Yeah.
be treated differently just because of that. If you like me, you have a conversation with me, you're seeing who I am and who I talk as. That's how I want to be perceived. I want to be treated, I don't want to be
Yeah.
treated differently because I think, you know, Evanescence is an awesome band and you hate them, or I like chocolate and you don't. Like, I don't, and it's
Yeah.
ridiculous that we do this. We put ourselves into categories and, you know, I mean, gosh, you have extreme groups, yes, that like, if somebody's part of an extremist group that is incredibly damaging, sure, like, yeah, judge them a little bit because, but overall, when it comes to just basic beliefs and likes, and as long as you're not hurting anybody else with it, like, we should all be able to get along, you know?
I
So,
literally told my
yeah,
little cousin that I mentioned earlier. One day I was like, which I think she
yeah,
took it in a way and ran with it, but I was like, as long as you're not hurting yourself or others, you're fine, you know? I was
yeah,
like, just try to keep that
yeah,
rule. And I was like, and sometimes you might do it on accident. You might hurt somebody's feelings on accident, but just make sure you don't do it like purposely. And then you know, try to make up for that.
yeah,
But then, you know, like because I think she was just getting really confused with religion as well, and it gives you anxiety. And I'm
yeah,
just like, it gives
yeah,
you so much anxiety that you don't really need as a kid when you could just have love.
yes,
Like, you know, like God is love,
yeah,
love. You know, like I think
yeah,
that's what we should be really
yes.
spreading.
Perfect transition into one of the talking points, which is, and I said we'd save this for like last. I don't mean we have to end after this. I just wanted to talk about other things first, basically. But you just transitioned into it, so I'm going to touch on it. I'm gonna be really careful when I do. But as two people who do not have kids, maybe I don't know what your feelings are. I don't even know if I plan on ever. If I did, it would be adopting when I'm like 40. Like, it's not on the agenda.
Yeah.
Um, I try to be careful because I'm not going to tell people, give parenting advice, God forbid, absolutely not. But raising kids in church, okay? So I don't want to say whether you should or shouldn't because that's not my decision, and I think it depends on you, your child, your church. Like,
Hmm.
is it a safe environment for them? Is it going to be whatever? But I did think it would be good to talk about like things to be wary of, watch out for, and concerns, because I do think church is really heavy for sensitive kids depending on the
Hmm.
church you go to and the sensitivity. So, like I said, my example, and of course, I definitely want to hear about yours. As a kid, hearing hellfire brimstone teaching was very like heavy as a child because you're getting these pictures of like demons burning eternity,
Yeah.
you know, pastor talking about this person was on their deathbed and they felt something pulling them down into hell, and like just really scary stuff. If you wouldn't let your child watch a horror movie, why would you want to let them hear that? And again, like, we all, like, it was just part of the culture on here, nobody thought about it. My wife
Yeah.
told me that like her church had, like, you didn't even go to that part, you went to like a separate thing for kids, and I'm like, huh, that's interesting. Like,
Must have been
we had
nice.
Sunday school, but it was before. I know.
Yeah.
I know. It was a country church too. I was like, well, that's cool that they had that awareness. Um, Props to them. They sound cool, but yeah. So, but as a very sensitive child, yo, that messed me up because I was constantly thinking like,
Hmm.
okay, everything they tell me is a sin. Everything they tell me is wrong. I'm going to be obsessing over that. And I do want to note we have a question from Jack. I'm saving for after we wrap up this conversation, which is exciting. Thank you, Jack, for giving us a question.
Thank
Um,
you.
but yes, thank you. But like, for me, again, I'm not a mom. I try to think, if I were to be one, I absolutely see the appeal, because if you are spiritual or religious, they do teach you to raise your children in it. It will give them a protective layer. It will help them, whatever. And that is so great if they're not hearing like the negative stuff all the time as
Hmm.
they're developing and growing and becoming fearful. Like, I think Imported Baby here has been talking a lot about fear and like you shouldn't live in fear. Like, yeah, like, you don't want that impression, I think, especially as a child.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess like if there was any advice I could give, and again, I'm not big on like giving parenting advice when I'm not a parent. Like I'm one of those people that tries to stay away from things that I don't really know about. But I've been doing a lot of inner child work. I have, you know, seen like, oh, this is what caused this for parents. Be mindful of like what their church is teaching and how they're teaching it, and if their kid is emotionally mature enough to hear the things that they're hearing, because it's very easy to take that stuff so literal that you
Mm-hmm.
develop phobias and fears. And especially like, again, I was prone to OCD. Like I have OCD, and my OCD attached to that stuff really hard. So
Yeah.
again, I wouldn't say do or don't. I would just say be very careful and watch for those red flags. Like think about what a child should hear, and think about how scary these things could be. Now, some parents think that
Mm-hmm.
scaring their children into being Christians is a good thing because it'll keep them on the straight and narrow, but no, it's not. They'll probably turn 16 and hate you. So don't do that.
Eh.
Like don't do that. Like
From our
so
experience on that end, no.
just my thought. Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, like thankfully like yeah, I my so I kind of knew something was up because my dad left the church when I was like 10. He was like, I love you guys, but I'm out. There's too much
Mm.
political crap in this, and I can just be over here with God. And I think my mom
Which
felt the same way for a
respect.
while, but she just tried to stay. She tried to stay because like my poppy was part of the church, and I just think she felt it was hard. It was hard for her to. But again, she's
Yeah.
where I'm at now, so like all good there. I don't
Yeah.
hate my parents. I love my parents were
Yeah,
very
sorry.
like, because that's what it sounded like. No, you're good. You're good. You're good. You're totally good. Because I don't. Yeah, no, it's a funny joke. It's but like yeah, they it was never like forced upon me. It was just I was
Yeah.
in it, and then once I was in it, I felt like I wanted to be in it because I didn't know any different, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, but we all kind of have gone at our own deconstruction paths and got
Yeah.
to a good place, which is good. But your experience, Alyssa, as a child. Now I know we've talked about this in the recording, of course, but is there anything in the live that you want to elaborate
I
on
think,
here, and your opinion on like raising kids in church? I'm
yeah,
curious.
I think even though I don't have kids either, and I'm with Noelle, I'm like I would adopt or something one day. I'm open to that.
Yeah,
It's funny because
yeah,
I feel like the way my family sees me now, my extended family, like my parents are pretty cool too.
yeah,
So
yeah,
my extended family would probably be like, oh my God, she would teach them like witchcraft and stuff. But I genuinely
yeah,
would allow my child to like experience multiple religious
yeah,
routes. Or if they were interested,
yeah,
I would just be like, oh yeah, like you can totally explore that. I'd be all for it.
yeah,
And that's what's funny with like my little cousin and my nephew. Um, I feel like again, my family, like I feel like they think I'm just like, don't go to church. But I'm genuinely like
yeah,
supportive. And then if they have questions,
yeah,
like, because I don't go to church. So they've asked me a few times, they're like, why don't you go to church? I'm like, I just don't really like it. And I'm like, I feel like being
yeah,
honest with them is the best policy, but like also, supporting
yeah,
them. Like if they tell me something happened in Sunday school, I'm just like, oh, that's cool. Like I just go along
yeah,
with it and because they're children, I'm like, if they have
yeah,
questions about like anxiety, if something gives them anxiety, I'm just like, I try to kind of put myself back to when I was their age, also struggling with it, maybe. Um, Thankfully,
yeah,
Riley hasn't, thankfully, she's not really opened up too many of those questions, but I have a relationship with her mom who that I could message her and just be like, hey, like I don't want to be the one to like
yeah.
intrude on what you are teaching her, so I think
Yes. Yeah,
thankfully they're in good spots to like, communicate with me and I can communicate with them. But yeah, just watching
yeah,
them, I'm just like, okay, like I really try to handle it as if I was the parent in those situations,
yeah,
and I don't just like go
yeah,
AWOL and I'm not the crazy cousin,
Yeah.
crazy aunt that's just like, don't do it. Don't go to church, guys. I'm
Yeah.
very supportive
Yeah. And
if
I
you are
yeah.
also under, or yeah, like I'm just very supportive of the good Christians and the good
Yes.
morals that it teaches. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. No, I love that. I love that. I think that's a great answer. And yeah, I very much feel similarly because you definitely don't want to overstep when it's other people's children, but you also want to be there for them
Yeah.
if they feel like they need to talk to somebody who understands it. And it's a complicated
Yeah.
little line, depending on the age and how that ends up turning out. But
Yeah.
hopefully, it's good that you have that good relationship with the mom at least, because
Yeah.
yeah, that makes a difference. Um, so we've got a few questions. I think they're both from Jack, but I want to go back to his first one, and I actually really love this. This is a really insightful question. Um, so, and I do, because I got to read it first, I can answer first. That way it gives you time to think about it, because like I've been low key
Okay.
thinking about it. So,
Sweet.
Jack says, one question for Alyssa slash Noelle around personal discovery. Who is a person, famous or in your life, whose approach to spirituality or identity makes you feel seen and affirmed? So I want to say famous is what hit me first, just because like that's the first thing I read.
That's a good
So
question.
I'm wearing That is a really good question. I'm wearing a Demon Hunter t-shirt right now because, fun fact, you'll hear this if you've listened to my other religious trauma stuff, but I went through a phase where I would only listen to Christian metal or Christian rock music. Now, I've always been a metalhead, so it was not like, I would only listen to like hymns or praise and worship, but there's a scene for this, okay? There's a scene there, and there's some really good bands, and they're still really good. Now, I'm not going to say Demon Hunter is one of the people that's made me feel like seen. I am grateful to see their theology and their approach, because they're not one of those judgmental, like, so I feel safe listening to them still and supporting them. But um, one of the bands that I was really big into was Under Oath. There's their drummer and clean vocalist. His name is Aaron Gillespie, and he also has another side band that's a little bit punkier called The Almost. He was like a core staple in my teenage years because it was like a Christian that did cool music. I really liked, all of his stuff, and all of, a lot of I was big into interviews of musicians back in the day, so I would feel kind of attached to a lot of these people. And a lot of the Christian ones I got disappointed in, unfortunately, because of the things they supported. Like the lead singer of Skillet has been a huge disappointment to me. Flyleaf was one of the most heartbreaking ones because Lacey, I still like have a very empathetic care for her, but some of the she supports like the Grams, and they do a lot of things that are really like not good. So there was a lot of like grieving a lot of these people, because it wasn't just the music that I cared about. I was into like
Hmm.
them. I wanted to know about them. It was just a part of being young. You're like that. You look up to celebrities when
Yeah.
you're younger. I mean, you grow out of it, but most people do anyway. But like, so anyway, um, Aaron Gillespie, however, has deconstructed at a very similar rate that I have, and he's even been on podcasts, and I've got to hear so many relatable things from him. And it's very affirming to be on that same journey with somebody. Like, the reason I was into his music when I was a teenager, like, he almost changed at the same time with me. So it's been nice to see his deconstruction journey, and it's made me feel very seen and validated, because he had a lot of the same struggles that I did and the same fears. He's a
Yeah.
hypochondriac. He struggles with, like OCD, health related things. And I'm like, whoa, there's so many patterns there that we relate to. And, like, yeah. So that's my answer. Now, in my personal life, you know, uh, a lot of people, my mom, my dad, just a lot of people ended up making me feel supported. My mom had gone through something when she was younger that, and I won't like expose what it is, but it was something that the church, just not her church specifically, but just that mindset, that Christian mindset around here, made her feel
Yeah.
like horrible for her. And it wasn't, the same, it wasn't the same exact thing I went through, but it was so similar that she really understood me and instantly was in my corner when I came to her with these struggles. And we've kind of,
Yeah.
been on a similar path at the same time. So I would say my parents for sure in my personal life.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. Aaron Gillespie for famous people, and I do recommend those bands to anybody who likes rock music. But anyway, um, yeah, that's my answer. Thank you, Jack.
Okay. Yeah. I think it's hard for me because I was like big into celebrity culture, but I never really like it was hard because I never really seen anybody who was struggling in my like health issue way. I was kind of like, oh my God,
Yeah,
nobody's like me. But I
yeah,
obviously I used humor a lot just to like get through that shit. And so I really think it's funny because I used to love Will Ferrell. So like people like
I
Will
love that.
Ferrell and just turning terrible situations into comical situations had always helped
Yeah,
me. And obviously there was like music and stuff. Like I really escaped into music. And I'm a basic
yeah.
bitch. Taylor Swift was always my go-to. For some reason, I have a fucking Taylor
Hey,
Swift
that's
tattoo,
okay.
okay? I'm a basic bitch. I get it. I know. But she was really always just like
That's so funny.
somebody that I just really loved her songs, and it would always just like help me just forget and like
Yeah,
escape. And funnier, Hannah
yeah.
Montana, that CD, her little first Hannah Montana
Oh my
Miley
gosh,
Cyrus
yes.
CD, I will never forget. It got like on the way to doctor's offices, I'd have my little DVD player because this was back before even iPods were a thing. I'd have my little DVD
Oh
player with
yeah,
my Hannah
yeah.
Montana CD, and I'd put my little headphones on and I'd try to escape. So
I love it. I'm so
a
here
lot
for
of
it.
stuff for me was like kind of just escapism and like putting myself into like I don't know, just a different world for a bit, instead of like looking up to these people. So it's really hard because like I feel like a lot of celebrities really do like they're just like I love God and Jesus, and then we're also being taught like they're demonic. So for me, I was just like, I don't
Yeah,
really
that's
know,
true.
I don't know what y'all are about. Like I don't really know what to believe at this point. Like they're
Yeah,
saying they love God, and they're like
yeah.
over here dancing on Satan. Like I don't know. It's just like this is weird. Um,
It's very confusing, yes.
so for me, I
Oh,
think
that's
just
so
like
funny.
picking up on like this is awful. I'm like disassociating with like what I picked up on most with celebrities, just
Oh, for
kind
sure.
of
Yeah,
yeah, like just escaping into the humor. And then for personal life, yeah, my dad was a big one. He was always
no.
coping with humor as well. I feel like sometimes he didn't
Yeah,
even mean to. He was just really goofy and would make me laugh a
he's
lot.
funny.
So I
Yeah,
think yeah, yeah, he's hilarious.
yeah,
So he really like helps me through a lot of the dramatic church events or just dramatic
yeah,
moments. It was like he could always kind of be the comedic
yeah,
relief, and I feel like I always knew I needed that. Just with all the
yeah,
seriousness. So it was really hard for me to even
for
take
sure.
like yeah, take it seriously at a certain point because it was so dramatic and
Yeah,
so anxiety ridden for the longest time for me. And so it just got to the point where I was just like, this is kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. The way y'all are acting right now, a little
yeah.
funny. And then I think that's when they started being
Yeah.
like, how dare you? So I had like
Oh,
just a
yeah.
switch of like, I had that switch of like, I'm just not gonna take anything seriously. Um,
Yeah.
when it comes to all of the religious stuff. So that's why I make a lot of jokes.
Yes.
But also I do respect when
Yeah.
people are still Christian and stuff. I do have Christian friends and I do have a lot of friends who are religious and when we respect each other,
Yeah.
it's fine,
Yeah.
like we're totally fine. It's just
Yes.
the ones
Yes.
that are just like, how dare you? That it's like, oh, okay, well we
Yeah.
need to have a discussion or something.
Yeah. Yeah. And that a lot of that does come from like certain theologies in certain places that do make it like the individual's responsibility to convert people. I think it puts that pressure
Yeah,
on people and
yeah,
versus ones and theologies that are like hey, you live by example. And you know what's funny is even when I was deepest into Christianity, my parents taught me that. They're like, do not ever force this on people. Your life is an example
Aw,
and a light to people. And if they see something in you that they want, they know that's, they believed that was
that's
like
so
Jesus or
sweet.
God, But
Yeah,
but I love to apply that anyway because I think all of the goodness in us that we work to generate and put into this world and all of that positive energy is a light. Now, whether you believe that that is
yeah,
Jesus and you want to put a label on it, or you just believe that is like a spiritual energy that is good that unites us, it doesn't really matter to me. I don't care what people think it is. That's it. I do think there's truth to what they taught me with that, which is interesting, even despite
yeah.
deconstructing. So yeah, speaking of light, Jack had a really cool thing I wanted to tell you. He said on a lighter note, he's met Will Ferrell at a film festival in London, or a film
Stop
event.
it.
Isn't that cool? What the heck?
Stop
That's
it.
awesome. That's so
That is my
cool.
idol. I'm gonna,
Um,
if I ever meet Will
yeah,
Ferrell, I'll be like,
that's
you are
epic.
what I would base my religion off of. And he'll be like, what?
Will Ferrelism is your new religion. That's hilarious.
You are who I
That's
base my
so
religious
funny.
beliefs off of, sir.
It would be really funny to tell him that and see if he could pick up if sarcasm or not. Because like, is this girl crazy or is she just really funny?
Yeah, you
I
just
don't
be like,
know.
oh, okay.
I love it. I love it. Um, Jack earlier had another good question. So, oh God, and I'm going to get emotional with this one because I always do. But oh, he said, one other question that's just come to mind. If you could sit down with your younger self, what is one kind thing you would want them to know? Oh, um, golly gee.
Jack, why are you bringing out the
If you get
tears?
something before me, yeah, if you
um,
get something before me,
yeah.
please do tell me.
I just had
Um,
to experience because I do Noelle's mentioned she does a lot of inner child work. And I
mhm,
did for a while and then I kind of, backed off. But I a lot of my religious trauma comes from being disabled, being born with a lot of health issues. And yeah, again, with Noelle, I'm like, I'm gonna get emotional because it's so heartbreaking doing inner child work and realizing like a lot of people spoke to me in crazy ways when I was like 10, when I was really young. And it's like they kind of put a pressure on me to get this healing, get this miracle. And it was just always like, you're going to get a healing, you're going to get a miracle. And like it never happened. So as a child, you think, like, what am I doing wrong? What's wrong with me? Why is this happening to me? And then not only that, you're like, you kind of become aware that it's happening to like other kids because you're at the hospitals with other kids. You're seeing like even more pain in other children. So like I always had an issue because people would be like, oh, other people have it worse than you. And as a literal kid, I'm like, that is awful. Why are kids like dying of cancer? And like, what the hell is happening in this world? So I think for me, what I would say to my younger self is like, I'm trying to think of like, I wouldn't be like, shit just happens, girl. But I would literally just be like, things happen and sometimes it's just not
yeah,
explained. And I think if somebody would have just told me that when I was younger, like there's no reason sometimes.
yeah,
Things are just going to be
yeah,
hard and that's just how it is.
yeah,
Instead of like, we don't know. Because I always got told, like, I don't know why God's doing this, or I don't know why God's not intervening. And it's
yeah,
like, now, that was one of my main things when I was deconstructing is like, bad things happen to everybody. It's not because you're a bad person. It's not
yeah,
because you're a good person who is going to get bad things happening here just so you can go to heaven. It's just like bad things happen. And
yeah,
you're just going to have to, understand that. And maybe not blame
yeah,
yourself, not blame God, not blame others, not, like it was just always a blame game.
yeah,
And like once I stopped being like, why God, is when my
yeah,
life got so much easier because I was like, okay, there is no why. Um, it just
yeah,
is, and like we gotta just get through it.
Yeah.
So I think I would just be like, hey, girl,
That's good.
you're just gonna have to get through. So sorry.
Yeah. Man. Whew, yeah, that is good. Gosh, I there are a lot of things, but I think it is because I'm in the depths of inner child work, so I can think of like multiple different like core
Yeah.
traumas and issues that I could talk to. I would say like the most defining one and the most important one for me is, I would definitely tell my younger self that like forgiveness does not look like acceptance. Forgiveness does not have to be, liking someone or keeping them in your life. It can simply, first of all, the traditional definition of it doesn't even have to be, I don't have to just get over someone doing a terrible thing, and
Yeah.
I think I felt like as a kid, I felt like because they push forgiveness so much and stuff, I really thought that I wasn't a Christian if I didn't forgive. And by forgive, I meant just let go horrible
Yeah.
things that I never got an apology for. Um, and just an instance of childhood SA, which again, like, we've talked about this before, like, you don't have to forgive that. But I didn't get that clarification from any of those teachings. I didn't understand that. So I just thought, yeah, I have to forgive this thing. I have to just be okay with seeing this person at Christmas and, and wishing the best for
Yeah.
them and blah, blah, blah. And it just didn't realize it was destroying me because, like, every time I had to be in those situations, it made me sick. My entire life, I felt sick because I never felt validated.
Yeah.
Um, because of it. So my younger self, like, she so much needs to know that like it's okay to just not want to be around somebody, and sometimes people are just bad people and you don't have to see the best in them. You do not have to see the best in them, and and
Yeah.
it's not my responsibility to do that. um I think that's the main thing. Yeah. As
Yeah.
far as like a kind way of saying it or a kind thing, I would just trying to think of how I would talk to a child. I do this a lot in parts work. They actually, the therapist will have you talk to that child version of yourself. And you really have
Yeah.
to think in that way. I feel like if I were talking to a child, I would, be like, I would try to explain boundaries and be like, you don't have to ever put up with anything that makes you uncomfortable. And
Yeah.
let's talk about what makes you feel uncomfortable and why, and like let that dialogue be open. I think that would be really important for baby me. And I am really in touch with my inner child. I actually have had dreams where I am separately as who I am now, looking at her at different ages. I have seen my baby self before in a
Oh.
dream. I have seen a 4-year-old me in a dream, which is like a very relevant age for me. Get a little bit emotional talking about that, but like 4 or 5-year-old, somewhere through there, and I'm so aware in the dream of like the things I want to do to help her heal, and I'm like trying to do that in the dream, and then I wake up and I'm like,
Yeah.
this is my psychology, like this is my psyche working through this. I
Yeah.
am And I gotta listen to it, and I gotta apply this in my waking hours because clearly I know what I need. I know what she needs.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I do really like that question because I'm very, very passionate about inner child healing.
Yeah.
So beautiful question.
Yeah.
Beautiful question. Yeah, damn. Got us emotional over here, Jack.
You got us, Jack.
got us
You
emotional
got
over
us.
here. Yeah,
That's such a good
wild.
question, though. I'm just like, yeah, I'm like, thank
Was
you
really
for
good.
asking that, because that's, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I needed that. That felt good to talk about, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Um, whew, yeah. So, I mean, a lot of the things that I had written down we have talked about, so I would love to open it up to anybody here, y'all. If you have any talking points or questions, me and Alyssa can just keep talking. We'll talk forever. So we'll do that while we wait, of course. Um, but I would love to have more questions, of course, like respectful, thoughtful ones, preferably. But if not, hey, we
Preferably
can determine if we're
respectful.
gonna answer it or not.
Oh my god.
Luckily, we don't have like 50 people in here yelling at us like we did last time. So Yeah, it's funny. Last time we
Meanwhile,
did this, we oh, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, meanwhile, I'm oblivious, and poor Noelle is just like stressed over these comments, and I'm just like over here, like,
Yeah,
I can't see.
before we were just getting harassed with Bible verses and being told we were like hellbound heathens and asking if we
Devil's
church
child,
and
devil's child.
um all kinds of fun stuff. Jack has a funny one. Demon Hunter, the shirt he's referencing, he said, "Does Demon Hunter activate Papal mode?" Demon Hunter doesn't, but I can tell you what does activate Papal mode is probably like a bluegrass and 90s country music activates Papal mode. Demon Hunter activates uh, inner teen goth mode and like
Heck
angst,
yeah.
lots of angst. There's lots of no, I'm kidding.
That's when I met
They
Noelle, was
actually have some really
entertained
beautiful
goth.
songs. Yeah, bring that teen version back. No, Demon Hunter actually has some really pretty melodic music, despite being a screamy band. They're one of those bands that has a beautiful mix of like screaming and like melodic sounds, and I think their lyrics are pretty. And yeah, I mean they're good. They're like they are Christians, but I think even if you're not, they're more their their lyrics feel more spiritual than religious, if that makes sense. So I feel like anybody can relate to it, regardless of like well. Um, yes, that did really happen, Andy, when we talked last time. It was crazy. I don't know, the algorithm is blessing us this time with like thoughtful at least people. Like even I see, a lot of people have been debating back and forth, but they're not like harassing us or being
Yeah,
mean.
okay.
Yes, Blade of
Yeah.
Sun is confirming he had to like ban some people and hide them from his channel. Like, yeah, we got like it felt like a raid. It felt like like on Whatnot when people raid in, it's a good thing, like a raid train.
Yeah.
It felt like a negative one. It felt like it felt like when it felt like somebody said, like some bots were like, "Hey, these chicks are talking about religion. Go tell them they're going to hell." And the bots were like, "Okay, okay, 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 okay." And then they all came in and were like, "Yeah, it was crazy."
It was a
Yes,
whole
Jack's
congregation.
taking notes for the exam. It was a whole congregation. Somebody's entire church came here to yell at us. Oh my god. Oh jeez. This is hilarious. Andy said, "Hooey! I'm so sorry, you guys. Holy shit!" No pun intended. No pun intended. Has me dying. That's so funny.
I'm
The shit is
dead.
not holy, Andy. It's not holy over here. We can like I don't know if we're gonna get any more questions, but we can talk about the announcement that we have. Alyssa, would you like to talk about that?
Yes. I'm gonna
Yeah,
open
I
the
feel like that
floor
could be
for you
fun.
to talk about it, and then I'm gonna talk about
Okay.
the other thing.
Okay, perfect. Good deal. Okay, so the announcement that me and Alyssa have, and I did allude to it a little bit on one of my gaming streams, is we are starting a podcast that will be living on a playlist on my channel. And we're gonna have fun with it. We're gonna have some different categories. There will always be a religious trauma category, probably on every episode. I think we've talked about this, but we also, have some fun stuff lined up that's more lighthearted. I don't know how deep we want to go into it, Alyssa, if we want to expose everything, but there might be a segment on something that matters to us a lot that we grew up with, that might be a show, that might be a drama show that is nostalgic. We have a lot of different segments planned for it, and we think that would be really fun. So it will, of course, live on YouTube, but I do plan on doing the research to see, getting it on Spotify, Apple Music, that kind of thing. I think would be cool. So we'll see what happens. But
Yeah.
right now, should we reveal the title? Should we reveal the title?
Oh yeah, go for it.
Okay, so we came up with too short to care because we're both always bonded over being short. And the vibe is like, yeah, we don't give a crap. We're just having fun and saying what we think and whatever. So yeah, I think it'll be fun. We've made a little logo in Canva and um should be neat. So yay. And uh it's like this, but um consistent and not live. So
And then to follow that up, we're gonna do that. Noelle,
Mhm.
I love how you're giving me any credit for that because Noelle's like, oh, we came up with the logo. Noelle came up with the logo. Noelle is putting in the
Oh my
work on
gosh.
this. I'm just here.
Exposed. I got exposed.
I do just want to say Noelle has like put in the work, and I'm just like, oh my God, yes. So I'm like the hype man, you know. But then
I
after we
appreciate that.
do our show every month. I'm giving you credit. I'm like, you need all the credit because yeah, no. After we do our show each month, we are gonna also do a live on my channel called Alternative Call,
Yes.
a playoff altar call at
Woo!
church. So we're gonna do
I
that,
love this.
answer questions and do what we're doing right now with what we have done. So we're just gonna put it into an actual
Yeah.
format and hopefully get better at this and hopefully have less technical difficulties, but we will see. So I'm super pumped about this.
I love it.
And then if you
So
guys have
cool.
any
It's gonna go
suggestions for
so hand in
like,
hand.
yes,
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I was just gonna say if you have any suggestions about
Yes.
like topics or what you guys want to hear from
Mhm.
us, if you have a segment idea, let us know.
Yeah.
We'll do it. If we like it, not we won't do all of them, but if we like the idea, we might do it.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Depends on what it is. I'm actually gonna look too at because I can't remember. We talked on a few different segment ideas. I thought we could maybe talk about them a little bit if I can find the for the podcast. Um,
Yeah.
if I can get signed into the correct Google Docs.
Technical
Here we go.
difficulties.
So so far, what we have is a catch up segment for the first 5 minutes where we kind of just talk lightly about life. Most podcasts do that, you know, catch up with each other, like, hey, how you been? What's going on? How's work? Whatever. What we thought would be really funny is comment reactions because we do get some crazy comments, whether it's in live streams or just on our channels or Facebook. Like, and even it doesn't have to be related to anything serious because even like I do a lot of Facebook spiral posts and I get some pretty funny comments. Um, not even all inappropriate ones either, but I do think it'd be funny to react to some of the crazy, wild, inappropriate ones. But it'd also just be fun to react to like funny things. So
Yeah.
that's something we wanted to do. Of course, a religious trauma segment every podcast, which will be one of the longer segments that we do. That's a big, important topic for us. Whether we have prompts from you guys or we just talk about something that happened to us recently, have a story time, or we talk about old stories. There's always going to be something for us to talk about once a month easily. So I think we'll be good there. Here's the funny one that like is not going to land with everybody and it might feel random to you, but it is so important to us because me and Alyssa, our friendship dates back to this era, and like, I mean, we had like a finale watch party at Alyssa's house of the Pretty Little Liars. Okay, we're gonna have a Pretty Little Liars segment where every month we have to watch one episode of
Yes.
OG Pretty Little Liars and then discuss it from our perspective now and talk about memories or like what we thought then, what we think now, point out things in the episode, like because I've never gotten really big into any show before, but I was obsessed with Pretty Little Liars. I was so obsessed with it, and so was Alyssa, and we just vibed over that. So, yeah, those are the main
Yeah.
segments, and then I have one that I don't remember what it means. It's called Content Chat, and I don't know if maybe I don't know
I
what we
think
meant by that. We definitely talked about it.
I think what that one was because I've actually come across some videos that I'm like, ooh, I want to share this with Noelle. So I think that's gonna be like maybe stuff we stumble
Okay,
upon, like the unhealed or what's the podcast you listen to? Um,
Healdish, yeah,
Healedish,
yeah,
yes.
right,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So like things that you may have
yes.
heard on there, and then like videos that we might see, even like
Yes.
goofy, funny ones that like, um,
Yeah.
I don't know. I love goofy videos, but I've also seen some serious ones that I'm like, I need to save this and send it to Noelle. So I've already saved some videos for
100%.
that, and I'm excited.
Yay! Awesome. I'm excited. That'll be so cool. Also under the religious trauma thing too, I didn't even think about this, but we could kind of lump like if we don't have a specific story, which would really surprise me, but if we don't have a story and nobody gave us prompts, we could always like look at Reddit threads and kind of read a story and like react to
Hmm.
it because I so many podcasts do that, and I don't care how much it's done or how overdone it feels. It's hilarious, and I love it. And not even always
Yeah.
hilarious. Sometimes it's just fun to just talk about, like, oh, what's your take on this? Because a lot of people do,
Yeah.
you know, the "Am I the Asshole" thread, or you know, stuff
Yeah.
like that. So
And I've had a
yeah,
few friends reach out and be like, "Ooh, you could share like just my story of my experience that I've had," because like they don't want to openly
true.
share it's from them. But they've been like, "Oh,
Yeah,
you can kind of like get the perspective of others and like, share it without like
yeah,
with them being anonymous." So yeah, I've had a few
that's a
people
good
already be
idea.
like,
That
"Ooh,
is a good idea.
I too have religious
I
trauma."
love that. I love that. No, that's a good idea. Yeah, it's a way to get people's stories out without naming names and all that
Yeah.
jazz. So, yeah, I love that. I love that. That's perfect. So, yeah, if you guys have any other segment ideas or even topics for any of the segments that we mentioned, please do let us know. It doesn't have to be right now. If you need to think about it, you know how to get a hold of us. Like Alyssa's stuff is here, obviously, because we're collabing.
Yeah.
You can comment, you can go find socials, you can go to my Discord server, like whatever you want to do. But yeah, I would be interested to see what people want to hear about and want to talk about,
Yeah.
just so we can, you know, do more of it. I think we've even gotten suggestions in the past that we could apply to the podcast that we never did streams on. Like I think Ms. H, who's here right now, had mentioned like Appalachian Christmas traditions. Like that would be a good thing for us to do
Yes.
when our podcast gets close to Christmas. Like we could talk about that in our
Hmm.
podcast, you know. Um, so yeah, I think like there's a lot of room in the podcast, and it's nice to do it monthly because I think we'll have time to like do life, do all of our other stuff, but then just sit down and you know it's minimal editing
Oh
for
yeah.
podcasts too, which is nice. We can because we just talk, like we just go through it, you
Yeah.
know. So
And then I'm just doing
yeah,
live, so I'm like, there's no editing for me.
yeah. That's so true. I know, dude. I literally not. I know this is a it's a religious trauma thing, but just throwing it out there outside of that. Lately I've been like, you know, I put a lot of work into my let's plays and the editing and the recording and trying to get at least
Hmm.
2 of them out a week and in addition to my other stuff, and I'm like, and my live streams get more views. And I'm like, should I just be a live streamer? But I know for a fact that if I switch to that, I'll have weeks at a time where I won't have time to stream or something, and then I won't have any content. So I'm still gonna keep doing let's
Yeah.
plays, but I'm like, man,
Yeah.
like this is hard to keep up with, and then like it doesn't get as much love, which is fine. I mean, you know, I appreciate the people that do watch it, but it's just
Yeah.
funny. Live streaming feels so like I'm like, man, I put work into these edits and I make them funny,
Yeah.
and then y'all just want to come see me talk unedited, unfiltered. That's
You
crazy to
just
me.
want the
I
authentic
don't
me? What?
understand. That's so weird. Yeah, I'm like, I don't trust it. Like, I'm not even, I don't feel like I'm
Ew.
entertaining without my edits. Like, I don't know. Apparently I am, but which I'm grateful for, but yeah.
I love it.
Um, yeah. So I don't know. Um, but yeah, I don't think we haven't got everybody's talking about how they like it, by the way. I don't know if you looked at that. Ms. H said, Alyssa, I think you're amazing in all caps. Jack said, also, can I say Alyssa equals awesome? I feel like you also got a
Oh,
compliment earlier. Oh, you know
thank
what?
you.
We
That's
do have another question that I missed outside of that too.
okay.
But yeah, go ahead. Obviously, I didn't mean to interrupt your reaction to
I
that. It's
mean,
this
I'm gonna
damn
start off
delay.
our weird. I know, I'm so sorry. I don't know what we had some weird technical
It's
issues
not your
like
fault.
getting in here and
All the
then
time.
going live. It was like
Yeah.
try again, try again, try. I was like,
Yes.
what is happening?
Literally.
So, and then we went live, and then there's a delay after we go live, and I'm like,
Yes.
so we don't know what's going on there, but I will say one comment recently that I got on my live on TikTok, and I don't know why, but I love it. I know it was supposed to be a roast, but I'm like, this is so funny to me. They were like unique build, and I was like, unique build is what they commented, and I was like,
Why did I take a drink? Why did I take a drink? I almost spit everywhere.
ah,
I literally had to cover my mouth. Oh my god.
you should have known it was wild, Noelle. Yeah, people say the craziest things to me, but that is by far like I lost it, and I was like, that is actually iconic, and I want that
Oh
on a
my god.
t-shirt. I want to make that like my profile caption. I was just like,
Unique bill.
you. They didn't even say anything else. It was just unique build, and I was like,
Oh
okay.
my.
All right.
Don't don't you love when like you get a roast that's like this is horrible and this person is a horrible person, but also it's like somehow you're like, do I am I
Oh,
flattered? Am I offended?
it
I
was
can't
so
tell.
funny.
Like
Yeah. I don't even know if you knew you were being offensive, or if this was meant to be a compliment.
yeah.
But um,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, this could after we answer the other questions that we have, I low key want to make the rest of the stream until we get questions this and then just test out our podcast because I can definitely go through some comments and see some crazy shit that I haven't responded to. Absolutely.
Yes.
I'm so sold on this now. Like, yeah. Um,
Yeah,
it's
this is a
so
segment I think
funny.
I'm
Oh my
most
god,
excited
people are
about just
crazy.
because we get some wild stuff.
Same. We get the craziest comments. People are so wild. Um, okay, so ooh, Jack has another winning question here. So Jack says, I have one more question. What do you do on the days when the old ghosts of what people said about you feel louder than the truth of who you are
Ooh.
now?
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
getting philosophical over
I
here. Like, this is
I
getting
cry
deep.
a lot. uh,
Mood? Mood?
no, truly
Yeah?
though, yeah. I feel like that's I do still struggle with that, and like it really is something that you take day by day. Like some days it's just you wake up
Yeah.
and you're just like, oh my God, I'm feeling great. I love myself. I love who I am. I'm proud of how much I've accomplished and gone through. And then some days you're just like, I don't want to do this. And I think everybody might have been right about me. Like it's just really hard
Oh my god,
to
yes.
yeah, like, and again, it's just a day by day thing. And on those days, I just do my best to take care of myself. Like, literally, just brushing my hair or brushing my teeth. I'm just like, you did that. Like, I really try on those
Yeah.
days just to be proud of like the smallest things, feeding myself, drinking water, like just small things. I try to
Yeah.
really just pay attention to and be like, proud of you, girl, for even getting out of bed.
Yeah. Yeah. No, big freaking mood. You oh man. You said something that really resonated there with so me that feeling of like, oh god, everybody was right about me definitely happens if I make any mistake or I disappoint anyone.
Mhm.
And even if it's like even if the person who like the person who's disappointed me has their own issues and I know that it's not necessarily my fault that I disappointed them or there's more to it than that, like I didn't fail, that's when that voice creeps in for me. As
Mhm.
far as how do I handle it, unfortunately, this is probably not healthy, but I've noticed lately if I start to feel that way, I just distract myself, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because
Yeah.
what else am I going to do? Just sit in it and be miserable? You know, I think I process it enough in therapy to it not be like I'm just ignoring it. I think it's just I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, we're not going to go there. I've got things I can do. I'm on a good path. I'm not going to let this tear me down,
Yeah.
but I do distract, I think, when those days happen because it can
Yeah.
be such a bad rabbit hole to go down in. And
Mhm.
I think when you have trauma or religious trauma, like man, that feeling feels so familiar because I think I lived with that feeling all the time for a while because I was just constantly
Yeah.
feeling like a disappointment and
Mhm.
spiraling, you know? So it feels like, oh God, it's back. And then you're like, oh crap, and time starts to feel different because it's like, did this ever leave? Was I ever better? And like, I'll start just kind of, I can't let myself get
Yes.
there. I just can't let myself get there.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the was
Yeah.
I ever better is
Um,
what really hits with me because yeah, I'm just like,
whew,
and
yeah.
that's why it's like those days I'm just like this is a bad day. Tomorrow might
Yeah.
not be bad. You know, I really have to
Yeah.
reassure myself. And funny enough, I didn't really
Yeah.
have that mindset until I moved to Arizona for a year with my friend Autumn, and she's the one that
Yeah.
was just like, "You're gonna have good and bad days." Like I don't know why it was
Yeah.
just when she said it, it just like stuck with me. And I'm like, okay, I really have
Yeah.
to carry that.
It clicked. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that was a good question. Jack is full of good questions.
I know.
Yeah,
Jack, we love you.
he did do a really funny one, I gotta tell you. He said, "Final question for the night from me. What is your opinion on unique builds?"
I'm deceased.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
Well,
jeez of fate. That was good.
crazy enough, that comment came the week that I got diagnosed with a rare genetics disorder, which apparently only affects like 1,100 people in the world. And upon those people, everyone is 3 foot to 4 feet tall. Everyone has like skeletal issues. Um, everyone's like has like deformities and stuff. And then they were like unique build, and I was like, yeah, no, you ain't wrong. I
No,
was like, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
I mean, accurate,
I'm
accurate, yeah, like
dying.
it is
That's so
pretty
funny.
unique, sir. But yeah,
Oh my gosh.
so it
Bro,
really hit
I'm
that week, and
sent.
I think that's why it stuck with me because I'm just like, okay, no.
Oh my gosh. My goodness. Yeah, people and the audacities that they contain. Some of the things people have said, I'm just like, brother, dude, I'm just existing. Like, I'll walk somewhere, they're like, how'd you even drive here? You look like you're 12. I'm like, shut up.
I'm
I've been
just
driving
trying
for like
to.
15, 16 years or something. What do you mean? What do you mean? Oh, God.
We just
Yeah,
want to be
people are
left alone
so wild.
sometimes.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
for real. Jeez. Um, someone was asking us about our hair, said it's cool, and asking if it was natural or not. Mine is not confirmed. Alyssa, is yours natural?
yeah, it's naturally like this. I was born. It's my unique
Oh,
build. It's actually a part of my unique
it's
build.
it's part of this unique. This is a
It's my
special
rare
edition.
genetics.
What do they call? Yeah, limited edition. This is
It's,
limited edition. Um.
I am a glitter squishy dumpling.
Oh my gosh, I lost the YouTube chat.
Oh no.
Here it is. Okay, I'm back. Oh, I'm moderating it from the computer.
I have Noelle
Um,
modding because she can see.
yeah, I haven't had to really do much yet. There was one guy I had to time out for a while because he kept telling us we were pretty and he missed us and please respond, Jane. And I'm like, I don't know who Jane is, so I was gonna time you out, Bubba. He might still be here. I'm sorry if you are. I don't mean to hurt your feelings, but I don't know who that is.
Mama.
Um, Bubba. um, I do have to read just a funny thing that happened from Andy. It was back when I was talking about my Let's Plays. And this is just really fun for people who watch my gaming content because I do have a certain love for the farting sound effect. Jack, or not Jack, sorry, Jack was above him. Andy goes, I would literally die without my days of Noelle added fart sound effect.
We'll get you a button. We'll get you a little fart button.
That's what I need. Every time somebody's rude in the chat, I just fart sound effect them.
Yes.
It's great. There's one with extra reverb, so I love that one. It's just so funny. Um uh I feel like we got a really relatable talking point comment from Ms. H that says, I feel like I'm more sensitive now as an adult when I get misinterpreted or misconceived because I know that I've worked so hard on who I am as a person. So when people get a different idea, I'm so hurt. That is relatable.
Yeah.
I get that. I get that.
Yeah. I've
Um
definitely had those moments
and
too.
it
And
is
then I have to like, yeah, I
yeah.
have to stop myself and be like, okay, why are you so upset right now? And then I'm like, oh, okay. Like,
Yeah.
that's why.
And then it hits. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. I've I've certainly I really hate getting misinterpreted in the sense that like I hate when people think I mean something a certain way, like in an offensive way, but I didn't. That kills me. I cannot recover from that
Yeah.
because I hate, like, again, I hate imperfection. So if to me imperfection is like hurting somebody for no reason, I associate that. So if they interpret something I say as like, I don't, I struggle with it. I feel really guilty instead of realizing that like their interpretation is their responsibility to a point too. Like I
Yeah.
can't, I have to make it like my responsibility fully. And misconceived is also really annoying because I feel like we talked about that earlier with like I said, you know, the person that thinks that I'm like this awful person now just because
Yeah.
I came out as gay, even though they thought I was like the best thing in the world. Like I feel so
Yeah.
misconceived from that, you know, and even though I don't care as much
Yeah.
about it now, it's just like it sucks.
Yeah. You're just gonna have to let them think that. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you. Oh no. Is Noelle frozen? What? What the heck? Hold on, I wonder if I'm like, let me just exit out of the app and go back. That's my solution. I don't know. I don't know if it'll kick us off though. I'm kind of like,
Oh yeah,
uh,
maybe I should turn. Am I? Can they hear
okay.
me still,
Can you guys hear her?
or just not see? Because maybe
Because
turning the camera.
I can hear and see Noelle, so I'm like, I don't know. But also, we weren't on a delay, so you can hear. It's just frozen. See, now I can't see you.
Like a
Oh, now I can see you. Okay.
fucking bamf. Huh. Well,
Okay. Is she back? Is she
hear
back?
but do not see. This is crazy. I'm gonna just keep
What?
turning the camera off like I'm at a rave.
Hold on. I'm gonna.
The camera off
Okay.
20 times. Oh wait, Alyssa.
Okay. Do we do it?
Do we do it? You're. I think now I only see me. Are you back? Sorry if you guys hear a duck. I have a duck in the house.
Yeah. It was echoing so bad whenever I came back, and now it's good. This is gonna be a whole segment on our live as well. Just Alyssa and Noelle technical difficulties. I don't. Oh my god. I'm so dead. That's what I'm gonna make the live photo, or the photo for the live. Oh. No. YouTube it was being weird.
To like read through some comments too. I was gonna see if I could find anything funny, but I guess if I'm not here, I'm not gonna do that. I don't know. If I if I come back, tell me. I guess. I don't know. I don't want
If
to
I
get that.
come back. Yeah, because I'm
I
like,
don't want
I
to
can
make them
see her.
responsible for this.
I can hear her.
I'm gonna look at the preview. Oh yeah, I can see. I'm on the stream. I am choppy
Okay.
on the stream, but I'm talking again, so
Huh.
I think. Yeah. It has something to do with YouTube for sure. Both good now.
Oh my
Okay, solid.
gosh. Okay.
Um, I have a lot of like usually comments that I don't respond to just stay there forever. And I
Yeah.
don't respond to most of these weird ones that I get. I gotta figure out where they live at. Um, let's see here. Community, probably. Oh yeah, okay. So, uh, I I've got to think. I'm trying to do ones that like aren't making fun of people and are just like ridiculous. Um, and that's a fine line, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, my favorite is a very beautiful redhead, but is it natural? Um, keep in mind I had like neon red hair in the picture that they're talking about, like neon red hair, like bright.
Yeah.
And like if that is natural, I don't know, bub. um, uh, man, there's not as many as I thought on YouTube because I've deleted so many.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm excited for the podcast segment because I do think it'll be funny to do the
Instagram has been
just
the
like
wildest comments for me. I don't know about you.
really.
Yeah. It's been feral over there.
That's
Like
just
I thought TikTok
wild. Do you
comments
remember
were
any of
bad,
them?
and then but, oh, okay. So this is like the first video that kind of like blew up on Instagram, and I was talking about me and Dan. Again, this is like commentary in real life. Me and Dan went to McDonald's one night after I had worked like a 10-hour shift. I'm tired. I'm in the passenger seat. We go to McDonald's, and this old man leans over and he's like, "You got a nice ride, buddy." And I in the video I'm talking
Bro.
about this, and I started dying laughing. Usually I like kind of hold it in, and me and Dan are just like, okay, like we're just like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
But I started cackling. I was like, what the hell? And so in the video I said I lost
Bro.
it, and this like dude bro like woman hater was just like, that's so embarrassing for your man. And I was like, why is this man so
What the
upset?
fuck?
And then I realized I was like, I was like, honey, when I said I lost it, I meant laughing, like not but
Yeah.
like, are you okay, sir? But yeah, he's like, your man's so embarrassed of you. And I was just like, why are you
Oh my
so upset
gosh.
right now? Like he was, you should go.
That's such
It's
a
so
weird
fun. I have it
response.
pinned. I have the video pinned on my page because
I'm gonna
it's
read
so
it.
funny to me.
Hold on.
Oh my
I can do
God.
this
It was
probably.
wild. It was,
See if I'm
and
logged
then
in.
I think I just sent back like sure Jan as one of the responses.
Sure, Jan. That's the best
The
part.
sure Jan meme.
There
Yeah.
was a dude. Oh yeah, 100%. There was a dude on my Facebook page, which is mostly gaming and Spyro, and it was literally. Of course, it's making me authenticate. What? Just send me a text message. Hold on. I'm trying to get it without having to exit out of the app. See if it'll come through. There was a guy that was really rude on Facebook recently. It was kind of
Oh no, now I lost Noelle. Now I can't hear you. Oh wait, okay, you're coming back. Yeah.
Like, okay, now I should be back. I didn't know how I really risked it to get to your Instagram, but I want to see this. Okay. I haven't logged into everything on my new computer. And I hate it because I don't
Yeah,
remember my passwords to
that's
anything.
the
I'm gonna be
worst
mean.
part about getting new
Um,
technology.
so you pinned it.
Well, yeah, the video that I posted about it, that the guy commented under, is pinned on. It's like the first one on my page.
Okay. Oh, okay. On the video, the comments pinned. Is that what it
Yeah, yeah,
is?
yeah.
Or
I
the
don't see. No, no,
okay,
no.
okay,
Like
okay.
it's. I think it's the second one over because I pinned a like pictures that I posted, but
Is it that I want to be invisible? Yes. Hold on. I'm trying to see. I think it's hiding it from me.
maybe it is hidden.
Oh
I
wait,
don't
here it
because
is.
the guy was being wild.
Oh gosh. Wait, is this? Holy crap. Is it that thread that's got like 20 some comments on it?
Yeah.
Then maybe because what the fuck? Is it like well,
I don't know that it just got some
this is a
wild
woman
comments,
saying
and
stuff. Okay,
I had
but
to
she's being
delete. I had to
retarded.
delete. I just kept deleting out some stuff because like they just started getting racist for no reason towards other people, and I was like, "What the hell is
Oh my
going on
god.
right now
Oh
in
my
the Instagram
gosh.
comments?" Like when people roast me or something, I'm
Oh
just like,
my
"Whatever." But
gosh.
like when they started turning against each other, I was just like, I'm gonna delete that because what the hell is going on right now?"
That's crazy. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
So I was like,
Jeez.
which I may.
Some of the people like defending
If
them
you
are
guys want
crazy.
entertainment,
This
just
one's
go to
like,
my Instagram page.
yeah, somebody's like, oh my gosh. I don't think I can read half of these out loud.
That's what I'm
Yeah, go to
saying. I was like, what the hell is going on right now?
the girl named Markel on Instagram. Go follow Alyssa, y'all. Go follow
Yeah.
Alyssa. Look at this
You
stuff.
get
It's
some drama
crazy.
in my comments when I'm just talking
The
about
heck?
laughing at a crazy experience that this old man said to me.
It's so wild. So
Oh,
freaking
yeah.
wild. So crazy. Man, that's nuts, bro.
Instagram. Yeah, I found out. I was like, damn. And
Oh,
that's
jeez.
Instagram's where everybody's like, what's wrong with your eyeballs? I'm like, I'm blind. Leave me alone. They're
I
like, you need
can't.
to clean your
I literally
contacts. I'm
can't.
like, bitch, I don't wear them. Leave me.
You know, it's so funny that we didn't get bombarded more. And also, Jack and Andy have said good night and
Good
goodbye. Thank you guys
night.
for being here and for the awesome
Yes, thank you
questions.
guys.
I appreciate you. Um, but oh shoot, what was I gonna say? Yep, my brain's starting to drift, Alyssa. I can tell. I had like such a thing uh with the comment. It's gone. It's literally gone. This is how. Yep, it's gone. I had a
You're
whole tangent,
shocked that
and it
we
was
didn't
good.
get a
And it made
lot of
sense.
hate.
Oh, thank you. You remembered. Okay, yes. I'm shocked that we didn't because when we first started this, it definitely pushed it to the top because there were like 30 some people here, and then it just like
Yeah,
dropped off, and then it's kept like 7 to 8. And I'm like, I think the amount of people was the problem last time because I think it pushed it really far for whatever reason that day.
yeah,
I don't know. And it was just like full of like a-holes. Like I'm like, I like that we got the algorithm on our side, but also it's been
yeah,
kind of peaceful this time to
yeah,
not have all that. Honestly.
yeah.
But yeah. Oh, so I don't know. am running out of being entertaining at this point. I thought I had more
I'm
comments. I don't
dead.
have anything that funny.
We will save it. We will
Yeah,
save it for next. We're gonna have plenty of content.
yeah,
Yeah, my stomach at a
yes,
certain point, I was
yes.
like, you can probably hear it like, brr, 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 brr. So
Hungry. I know. That's
it's
why I
time
got
for
my.
me to
I'm
go.
like gently nibbling on the ramp because I'm like I don't want to crunch in everybody's ears, but I think we had a solid stream. It's been
I
almost an hour and
support
a
it.
half of just talking. I'm not even playing a video game. Like this is great. So,
Hell
um,
yeah.
thank you everybody for contributing to the conversation. If you watch this back, and because some people do that, if you watch this back and you weren't here when it was live, drop any suggestions for the podcast in future episodes in the comments. And we will definitely consider them. But yeah, thank you, Alyssa, for doing this with
Yeah.
me. I really enjoyed it. Thank you
I
for
always have
letting me be here.
fun.
This is cool. Yeah,
Yes. No,
this is
thank
awesome.
you.
Yeah.
So in a few weeks, we will drop our first podcast on Noel's channel.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Too Short to Care. And I'm assuming that's our, we haven't even discussed it. I'm like, yeah, I'm letting her know now. We're dropping it in a few weeks.
Oh yeah, no,
But we're gonna
I think we can. Yeah, I think we can. We'll like record
we're gonna
ASAP and it's easy to edit. So
we're gonna
yeah,
do
we're
bi-weekly.
solid.
So
We're solid.
we're gonna take 1 week off podcast and then 1 week off live over here. So we'll bounce back through channels.
I
And I'm so excited.
I think that either your headphones switched or the stream just like tanked our audio. One of the two.
Somebody tried to call me, so
There you
that's
are.
what I think
Okay, there you are. You're back. Okay, you were
Someone
saying
tried to call
you were
me.
saying
Yeah,
you
we're
were talking
doing
about our schedule, but I
bi-weekly.
couldn't hear you very well.
We're doing bi-weekly, so we're gonna post. We're gonna take a week off, post on Noel's channel, take a week off, and then we're going live on my channel. So that is our
Yeah.
schedule. I think it's a
Yeah.
good one.
Yay.
Yeah.
I do too. I think
And
it's solid.
then
So
we
too
will,
short to care.
yeah.
Keep an eye out for it.
Yep. And then over here, we're doing alternative calls. So we will see you guys
Yes.
later. Thank you for being here.
Yes. Bye,
Bye.
everybody. Thank you. Bye.